Big Al's Rant with Cayden McFarland, powered by Jack Cassee Ford.
And we welcome you to the Rant, everybody. We're at halftime with Philadelphia leading the New York softball Giants 20-0. Cayden McFarland, Al Jerkens with you, and I'm going to be up front right off the bat. I'm in a really bad mood right now.
I feel like you should be in a couch instead of the chair.
It will not affect the Rant tonight for the next 12 minutes.
That's right. He's going to get after it. He promises.
Now, Oklahoma, I don't know whether to say, hey, you know, they won, or hey, they look terrible for a second week in a row.
Yeah.
What has happened to this secondary? What has happened to this rushing game? What has happened to Trevor Knight? Still, Oklahoma won. Go figure.
Sooner Nation's got to be conflicted, right? I think going back to Barry Switzer and the old hang half 100 on him, no fan base in America is more into style points than OU. No program has given them more reason to be into style points than OU. There were no style points yesterday. That was hideous.
I'm just going to say this, and I'll leave it alone. But the Rant folks in Alabama, if they do a rant, are saying the same thing with their near miss at Arkansas.
There are
and
positives.
There are teams, but
this guy's a positive right here. 2 big kickoff returns in the last 3 games. I mean, there are some explosive athletes making plays, not necessarily, on offense. But look, being 5-1 is absolutely a positive. But in my mind, it ends there because of what the expectations were at the start of the year. I think that it's safe to say now this team is not quite what we thought they were.
Shame on us for overrating Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Shame on us?
I mean, you got to elevate somebody, but we were wrong. Let's put it that way. I feel like you can safely say now we were wrong. That doesn't mean that these guys can't salvage a really nice season out of this, just like they did last year. But I don't think this is a team that can go win in that 14 playoff. 28 total yards in a half? 1 first down? Is that a top 14?
1 third down conversion, and that occurred with 2 minutes left to go in the game. 1 third down conversion, I say.
They've become really, really easy to game plan against offensively. The West Virginia game, to me, now is fool's gold. I mean, look at some of these offensive lowlights. The West Virginia game is fool's gold because they lined up and hit those guys in the mouth, and it looked fantastic, and we gave Samaje Perine the Optimus Perine, nickname, and they're going to run over everybody. That's what we thought. Fact of the matter is, if you stack the box against OU, a lot of this is going to happen, the body slam of Perine. And when you force Trevor Knight to beat you with his arm, not so much.
The comment made by the commentators yesterday during this game, I thought were right on. Perine does not get low enough sometimes.
Yeah.
We compared him to the Earl Campbells or whatevers, but he doesn't seem to get that low to the ground, even though he's low to the ground himself, which he gets tackled at the ankles a lot over the last couple of weeks. But they did win, and I don't know if OU fans are willing to say, the closeness has to do with the fact that this is OU Texas. We've seen crazier things happen. We saw OU lose this kind of game.
Yeah.
What disturbed me about Oklahoma is not the offense so much. I think that's correctable. The defense made swoops look like Vince Young. They made this pathetic offense of Texas's look legit.
500 total yards.
That's
almost.
nuts. That's
Yeah,
not, I don't
it
care
really
what
is.
day and age of college football we're talking about. 500 yards for Texas. Concerns, folks.
Yeah.
Big time concerns.
If this was the only one, that would be a certain level of concern. But TCU put 37 on them and West Virginia put 33 on them. The secondary has struggled now for the duration of Big 12 play.
I'll tell you one thing. OU was lucky that Kansas State is in Norman this week.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I mean, that's completely
still
losable.
could be.
2 years ago, Kansas State came in and beat them. And they're going to see what Texas did successfully and what TCU did successfully with the defensive game plan. I think Kansas State, you saw what they did with Auburn, held them to 20 points. It's going to be tough sledding for OU's offense.
Now, didn't we say Auburn was the best team in the country
I think
last week at this time?
Well, I think I had Florida State, but yeah, you had Auburn.
All right.
I had them up there.
Okay.
We don't know anything.
We really don't. All right, we're going to get away from football for just a minute because we want to bring up the Kevin Durant injury. Yeah. Broken foot. They say it's a month worth of the NBA season. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit longer than that. But I'm always on the conservative side when it comes back from coming back from injury.
Yep.
I think Russell Westbrook came back too early the first time. I think they're going to make sure that Kevin Durant doesn't come back too
so.
soon. But he is out with a broken foot, and this is really going to test the Thunder in the first month and a half of the season. We were texting back and forth about this. If the Thunder can maintain at least a 500 record
that'd be
until
fantastic.
he comes back, I think it could be a blessing in disguise, because now he's not going to be worn out at the end of the season.
I think he needs some rest. And
I know
so
that's
you're
a
right.
silver lining kind of approach.
That's right. Yeah, yes, if they can play 500 ball. We've never seen this team without Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook has played 5 games in his entire NBA career without Kevin Durant. He has been Mr. Reliable. He's missed 6 games in the last 5 years. He has been an Iron Man, playing a ton of minutes, more games than anybody in the NBA over the past half decade. We don't know what this team looks like. He is the cornerstone. To me, it's going to be really, really tough for them to play 500 ball. I would take even less than that. If he's out for 20 games, 8 and 12 would feel okay to me, because that's an awfully tough schedule. And, I mean, if you're starting Perry Jones III, or maybe even if you go with Jeremy Lamb in certain times, I mean, I just don't like that lineup anymore. Everything hinges on Kevin Durant.
Well, here's an interesting. Ibaka is sore already.
Yeah.
We've got Perkins,
off the
who's
injury,
never
too.
going to be healthy as long as he's playing,
Reggie
putting
Jackson,
on a uniform.
the wrist.
Reggie Jackson has got a bad wrist, so who knows how long. He may not be 100% for the entire season, because a
McGarry,
wrist
6
injury for
weeks.
him is tough stuff. So you don't think they can finish 500 without Durant in the first?
I don't
until
see it. I
Christmas,
mean,
at least.
I don't see it. There are a ton of tough games. You're playing Western Conference teams. Everybody in the West is tough. I don't think they go 500. If they get close, I think that will have been fantastic. And if they get close, I agree with what you're saying. I think it becomes a positive in May or June, because this guy was playing way too many games and way too many minutes the last 5 seasons.
Let me tell you something. The NBA TV executives are dying right now, because they've got the Thunder on so many national television games.
Yeah, we're saying he's going to miss 20 games roughly.
Right.
You know what game number 23 is?
the Christmas Day game.
Cleveland. LeBron. So
okay.
Let's hope it's not 23. Let's hope he's back by then. That's just killer, and you hate to see it. But these things happen, and you would much, much rather have it happen now than in April.
When we come back, we have our new top 10s. You don't want to miss that. Trust me.
Or maybe you do.
Maybe you do. No, stay here. Don't go anywhere. What are you? It's still halftime. We'll be back in a minute.